CJ. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. So, I've been waiting. I'm gonna be constantly. Welcome to the King CJ Music Podcast. Now, there's some explaining why I'm doing this. So, this is an amazing artist, a Kentucky native artist that can do R&B that goes by this or Pen Griffey. He is best known for Don't, Trap Soul, and now Bryson Tiller. But also, his name is Bryson Tiller. Now, there's something I must say for my Virginia accent, Richmond listeners. If this episode by any means makes you more interested, Bryson Tiller, I believe it's in 6 days. Bryson Tiller is in Doswell. He's in Doswell. He will be performing in Doswell at 7 on Saturday. If that intrigues anyone that wants to listen after I talk about this album in full detail, which I would argue after hearing all of these songs, you would want to go. But I must explain. This song, or this album, entitled Bryson Tiller, we get an experimental Bryson Tiller. And I think that's always the best Bryson Tiller we get, is when he gets in his experimental bag. When he wants to experiment on the music that he is creating, that is when we get the most creative. And so in this 19 track album, we get a Bryson Tiller in which I was mildly shocked. These songs include Whatever She Wants, which I don't personally favor. Yeah. But we also get songs like Attention. And Attention's the second song. So we get this communicative play where he goes, you get all my attention. And you hear this, and it's so experimental. Like, his voice just carries the track where he goes, and I just want, if we're gonna experiment, right? It's you get lyrics like, it's 2 a.m., he's creeping up, and it's just, this song in itself, it's just this chorus. It's just like, my blood is dead, but this song has quotable captions, like, she's blurry, huh? Like, my vision's blurry, huh? Petition. Ooh. He just goes, like, in extreme detail about, like, this girl, which it's definitely weird, because this is the Bryson Tiller we kind of expect. Like, it's not feature heavy. It's feature heavy in which we get, like Victoria Monet, we get very few features. But then we get songs where there aren't any features, and we kind of get Bryson Tiller, like, singing again. Like, in a song No Thank You, where he says, we got matching pajamas though, yeah. It's, and like she drinking white wine, and you age like wine, which is weird, because when I heard it originally, I was like, that sounds like a compliment, I guess, if you're the person receiving it. Mixed reviews on that, right? But it's it says like the song is no thank you, but you hear vibes and you go, you know, it's it's so experimental because you get like and loving me. It's just you kind of hear him when he goes through this album. You hear him go, he's like, when you're thanking me, like it. No, thank you. It's like you hear this guy kind of like rapping or bragging about love. These piece interludes are. It's hilarious too. It's fun and prizes. It's interesting to listen to. Even Calypso, you know, you got 2 more minutes. You got it's like it's and percussion. Let me tell you. Oh my god, Persuasion is a track in which if you want something that's gonna mess with your mind, like the beat, the vocals. I don't have that much knowledge on listening to songs from Victoria Monet, but it's you hear he says like he just changes like certain syllables of the words to flip the word, and it's funny, like it's and you hear decisions tonight, making decisions, and that's my favorite. That chorus. It's so ad-lib heavy because it's also like you hear songs like before she hit, before I hit PlayStation. It's like I will admit this persuasion. It's just the messing with certain like words and phonics and night. It's like persuasion or decision or it's just it's so simple, right? But you hear it's decision tonight. For example, when they does it, she goes, sit on that decision tonight. It's just like the wordplay on certain like. So you don't have a phonic loop. You're just like listening to the loop. It's just some love. It's just like he's like, don't fall in love. While this album I do like, it's not. It's a song where you hear like the emphasis on certain songs or certain words and certain phrases, and I think for the most part this album, I'll say most of this album I do like, but for me personally, when I was listening to it, especially with my ears, it does seem like song 13. Like 13, I kind of like lose. Like you kind of lose me, cause like Stay Gold, THP, Attention, Persuasion, Katos, CIAO, and then piece in a loop. And then we get to like Random Access, which I believe would be the. No, because I like No Thank You. So I don't know. I would say Prize is like where you lose me when it be good. It's because you get like this high up tempo for the first couple minutes. You hear cadence, a flow, like he's hungry. But it's. Like songs like Stay Gold, where he's talking about bonding and this, and just experiencing like the relationship together, where he's just like, I could spare this relationship while like steering the ship. it's so, you can kind of hear like him hungry for it. No, it's weird. It's extremely weird because this album I like. I think I do like this album, but you get after Peace Interlude, and this song for me, they kind of just fall, but then CIAO just kind of brings it back up, but it can never do what Calypso did. It's not, or No Thank You did, because Waterfall is fine. I think there are certain songs like Leo Lust I'm just not a huge fan of. I'm just not like Leo Lust. No matter how many times I listen to it, I'm just not a huge fan of it. And especially when you get like Bryson Tillman's Peace Interlude, you get like if you love me, he just through the song you realize there's no idea of like perfection. And halfway through this album, when you get to Peace Interlude, you're like, there's no such thing as perfection, but you kind of hear from himself. And this in itself isn't a bad like take on an album. However, it's gonna hurt me because they're talking about relationships where they just want a peace of mind, and that's why you get peace Interlude, because I need a peace and time, or you need to some time. It's weird. It's not like I hate it, but I understand the beat is more experimental. I'm not saying he can't rap on it or sing. Get the best music when it's an experimental, but you can hear him being more vocal, and to that end point, I don't know, like Rich Boy in itself isn't a bad song by any means. I gotta rephrase that. Rich Boy's not a bad song. It's just in which order that it comes in. It's weird because his beat changes, and when a beat changes, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Because I originally thought it was a percussion, like the round part of the drum, but then you hear, when it's more time, and it's, while it's relationship based, I can't tell what the beat is. The beat in itself, while I understand it's experimental, it's weird. It's like, it's just so it's this, I don't know, it's something about this album where I get to like halfway through this album, and Rich Boy is just a song that, while it creatively sounds great, it's not a song I'm like something I have to listen to, because he's like, it's more like, this is more bragging. It's not something where I'm like, I'm gonna go back to, and at a certain point I'm just like, this sounds great. Even Find My Way is better than Rich Boy, and I think that's the thing. When I first got the assumption of this album, I think I had higher hopes. And Undertow does bring this song back up, but it's not. It's like, I think the thing is, my idea of what this album was gonna be was that it was gonna be better than Anniversary and Trap Soul, which I think it's better than Anniversary. I guess it's not. I think that's personally what ruined it. I think, to me, it's not better than Trap Soul. But but I have to take some cadence in that it is for the most part, it is him being more experimental and robot kind of based. And I don't know, because that's not, and I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate them. Like, if this album started playing, I would dance and, have fun with it. It's just, I don't know. This feels more like background music, like while you listen to an entire album. Which, I mean, I don't mind by any means. Because even Prize is like, I don't know what Karma likes. Like, I know what Karma's like. And it's just, these aren't like, I'm not looking for bars. I'm not looking for anything. But it's, like, you can see in Prize where he goes like, I'm trying to make you smile again. Where you kind of see him kind of confessing that he's gonna be more open, and those songs feel great on themselves, right? You hear the chorus, you hear the hook, you hear all of this, and I'm like, this sounds great. I just don't know, and I think this is the thing. I don't like. I have my biases against 808, and so I think, because I think this is what it's similar, and I think for most of these songs, and I think that's where I'm just crediting it. I think the 808 in itself is making me not like this. Not making me like certain songs, right? Because certain songs, I will admit, are great. But, like, Rich Boy is a song where it's dance heavy. It's like white noise that you can dance to. But at the same time, I don't know. I haven't had the same reaction with this. And I think that's partially the issue. Right, where we get, okay, it's opinionated, and I'm giving my personal opinion, but it's, I don't know, like, it's not like Prize isn't something where I'm just like, this. Prize is good. I think Waterfalls is better. Leon Lust, I'm not sure what it is about Leon Lust. I think Leon Lust, it might be the lyrics on Leon Lust, where I don't know, where it's not, where it's like not vocally appealing to me. Because this album just seems to seem about love, right? And I can't knock them, and it's experimental with AI, and I think that's not a bad thing at all. I think producers did a great job. However, I think my issue with this stems from the fact that we get songs like I made this and this, and I'm like, that's great. I like the way that's set up. As I said, if I was dancing to this, I think it would be so much better. But like, if I'm listening to it to something to just drive with, I think it's great. But if I'm looking for lyrics and I don't know the culture, I think the culture might be looking for lyrics, right? And I think this is gonna be an R&B album. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna release this on Sunday probably, and when I release it again, I'm gonna do this twice. I'm gonna do this once, and then I'm gonna give it 2 or 3 months, and give you an honest review, a more honest review after like listening to it. And this is why this probably this episode would be so short, because it's not like I don't like it, and I really wanted to do this album. And I don't know, because I have a weird recording schedule when I do these, and I don't know if that's part of the issue. I don't know, because I don't know, like, I really do want to love these songs, but Leon Lust, I'm not sure why. Leon Lust I know is a beat, because it's a guitar, and I'm not sure if Rich Boy is because of 808. I'm not sure. Right, I'm probably gonna rank this album probably an 8. Because a 7 seems unfair, but a 10 definitely doesn't seem fair. And a 9 isn't. I have not disliked this idea. Like, I've listened to this on and off, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, he says, like, Like, I know she got People on a Leash. I think that's Leon Lust, and Leon Lust isn't, like, by any means, it's not a bad song. I would definitely go listen to it. I don't know. And I mean, he makes clever references in there where he talks about, like I read Braille through this album. She's this. She don't need emails. It's, I don't know. Like, I like the lyrics. I don't know. I think he experimented well, and I think the experiment went well. I just think for me to go, hey, I like this. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. I might generally not even release this episode because I'm not entirely sure. Like, it's when I feel romance like this. I don't know. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know. It's. I think you get a few songs on this album that are like very hype heavy, but I think others you try to focus on the lyrics, and the beat might be a bit distracting. Like, it's not bad. I think my first 2 listens of this album, I don't know, because I think this is what happened. I think this is why when you release an album, I think this is why when you release an album, I worry that whatever first 3 songs you put as your lead single may sway your opinion. Right? Because this sounds good in general. I don't know. And I think this is because Whatever She Wants didn't give me the best picture of this album. But I don't think this album is as bad as I'm thinking it is right now. Like, re-listening to these albums. And this episode is in pieces because I'm just not sure. Like, as I said, giving this album a 10 would be too gracious. But giving this album a 5, a 6 seems bad because it's not bad. I like most of this album. And while I may not sound like it now, I like most of this album. I don't know if I'm preoccupied. I don't know what it is. But the album doesn't feel, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it felt on the first listen. I don't know. Maybe because for some reason, this on the first 2 listens I liked it. And I'm not sure if it just didn't age well. And it took me so long to record it that it didn't age well. And so I'm not really genuinely liking this album. That might be the case. I'm not sure. Like, this album's not bad by any means. I'm just not liking it as much as I liked it before. If you had asked me on the first 2 listens, I said this is a 10 out of 10 album. 9 out of 10 album. Matter of fact, yeah, this ain't perfect. But it's a 9 out of 10. The romance is in the air. The texture is set. The AI I could get around. But I'm not sure. Like, I love the first half of this album. I do not like the second half of this album. I don't know why. I don't know if it's it. It's weird because I don't want to say this album's bad by any means. Like, if this was played anywhere, I would dance to it. I'd have a ball. But I don't know what it is. I like the voice. I think the mixing and the mastering is good. I don't know. I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks because I'm like, this doesn't sound well. I took the first week off of not like physically recording my reactions, and then I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I get to like PND 4, and I don't know if I like PND so much more that this overshadows it. Like, I'm not sure. And I think they both came out in May. They were both a week apart. But I don't know And that might be the case, right? I don't know. It's not bad. I have not disliked it. Why I don't like this album. Like, I don't hate it. Like, I can slide to the song. I could just dance to it, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. How about this? I'll do that. I'll release this. Like, I'm sitting here debating now if I'm going to release this and then give my honest opinion on it, like, weeks later. But as this stands right now, I'm going to have to go a 7 or a 6.97. And I don't know why, because I do... My original take on this album was that it's a great album. It's another R&B album that I would enjoy, and I had my R&B albums for the year in May, which I don't know. I don't know if it's a buy. I don't know what it is, but it went from a 9 to a 6.9 to 7 on my final listening before listening to this. I'm not sure why. This might just be an album in which the time of day matters. But I don't think that should be the case. I don't know. I'm gonna bring this back up in June and just see if my attitude has changed. I don't know, because it shouldn't, but I think it has. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the Royal King CJ Music Podcast, where we just give our opinions on music and talk about the music in general.